Welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have started unit number 2, metal ligand bonding in transition metal complexes. In the first video we have seen details about the crystal field theory, their assumptions, and crystal field splitting of the octahedral complexes. In the first video we have seen details about crystal field splitting in octahedral complexes. Crystal field splitting in octahedral complexes means octahedral complex means metal is surrounded by 6 ligands and the interaction takes place along the axis, and in the d orbital there are two types of d orbitals, T2g and Eg orbitals. So Eg orbitals is nothing but dx square minus y square and dz square, and T2g orbitals are nothing but the orbitals in which their lobes are lies in between axes there, and there are three types: dxy, dyz and dxz. So in this crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complexes, we have seen that to understand the splitting of d orbitals in a tetrahedral crystal field, imagine 4 ligands lying at alternate corners of a cube to form a tetrahedral geometry as shown in the figure. In this there are two diagrams, that is, in first diagram there is a octahedral complex and second diagram there is a tetrahedral complex. In octahedral complex, central metal ion surrounded by 6 ligands, and their ligands are situated in the cube as like at the face center of the cube. So this is the geometry of octahedral complex. But in case of tetrahedral complex, central metal ion is surrounded by 4 ligands, and 4 ligands are situated in the cube at the alternate sides of the cube, and this arrangement is called as tetrahedral arrangement. So in the case of tetrahedral arrangement, in third diagram, metal is surrounded by 4 ligands, but which is away from the axis x, y and z. So their metal d orbitals interaction takes place, that is in between the axis. So which are the d orbitals are having in between axis? That is d orbitals in between axis means T2g, that is dxy, dyz, dxz. These three d orbitals make strong interaction with the incoming ligand, with the metal. So in the case of tetrahedral, the interaction takes place in between axes, but in case of octahedral, that is in first diagram, the ligands are positioned at x, y and z axis. So there is a strong interaction takes place along the axis, but in tetrahedral in between the axis. In next slide we will see that is bonding in coordination compounds, that is crystal field theory in tetrahedral case. So the splitting pattern for tetrahedral ion is the reverse of that for octahedral complex. In first slide we discussed that in octahedral complex there is a strong interaction of ligand with the d orbital takes place on the axis, but in tetrahedral interaction takes place in between the axis. So this is the reverse phenomena, and most tetrahedral complexes are high spin complexes. This is the main point for tetrahedral complexes, so that is all the tetrahedral complexes are in high spin nature. In examples, that is in CFSE calculation, we will discuss the details about the high spin and low spin, but generally high spin means the complexes which are formed due to the weak ligands, that is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, water, etc. So these complexes are high spin complexes. So splitting, that is initially these 5d orbitals are degenerate in nature, and these 5d orbitals are splitted in reverse way, that is Eg is stabilized at below, that is dx square minus y square, and dz square at the bottom, that is Eg orbitals at the bottom, and T2j orbitals dxy, dyz, dxz, which are showing interaction with the ligand, and they are goes upward directions. So and this is the crystal field splitting between Eg and T2G. In this second diagram, as like octahedral, initially all the d orbitals are in stable position because this is a free ion state, but when ligands are approaching towards the metal, then there is an interaction and energy is increased. This is state second, that is a hypothetical state with interaction with ligand, and after some time with strong interaction, the splitting of these degenerate 5d orbital takes place, and this splitting is reversed to the octahedral, that is here Eg orbitals goes down or stabilized by -6 dq, and these T2j orbitals are destabilized by +4 dq. So these are goes upward direction and Eg goes downward direction, and total distance between T2j and Eg is a 10 dq, or in another word it is also called as delta t, but in the reverse position, minus 0.6 delta t and plus 0.4 delta t. So in third diagram, this is the same metal d orbitals, that is metal 5d orbital or degenerate free metal ion. In second step, average energy of the d orbitals in spherical crystal field, and after that splitting, that is the Eg at the bottom and T2j at the upward direction, and this is the very center point, and total distance between Eg and T2j is a delta t or 10 dq value. So this is about the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complexes. So tetrahedral complexes has fewer ligands, so the magnitude of the splitting is smaller as compared to octahedral. Tetrahedral complex possesses only 4 ligands, so the difference between the energies of the T2j and Eg orbitals in tetrahedral complex, that is delta t, is slightly less than half as large as the splitting in octahedral complex, that is splitting energy. The relation between delta t and delta O, that is delta tetrahedral and delta octahedral, is delta t is equal to 4 by 9 times delta octahedral. 4 by 9 means that is 0.45 times delta octahedral. So delta t, that is the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex, is smaller than delta octahedral, and such type of relations will be asked in multiple choice questions and MSc entrance questions. So this is the relation, that is delta t is equal to 4 by 9 times delta octahedral, that is delta t is equal to 0.45 times delta octahedral, and this is the comparative diagram between tetrahedral splitting and octahedral splitting. That is, these two diagrams represent that in delta octahedral T2G at the bottom and Eg at the upward direction, but in delta tetrahedral reversal phenomena takes place, that is Eg at the bottom and T2G at the upward direction. Then we will see next parameter, crystal field splitting in square planar complexes. So in the case of square planar complexes, there is also 4 ligands, but their position is in square planar format. So in first diagram, that is metal is surrounded by 6 ligands, so this is a perfect octahedron. But that is intermediate second step, that it is called as tetragonal position, that is 2 trans ligands are at large distance. When these 2 ligands which are trans to each other, that is trans means opposite to each other, elongated from the metal, and that position is called as, or that diagram is called as tetragonal complex. And when these 2 ligands will be removed from this tetragonal position, then we are getting square planar complex, that is trans ligands are completely removed, and this diagram is called as square planar complex. Then in this square planar complex, these 4 ligands are exactly in x and y axis direction. There is no ligands along z axis, so there is a strong interaction takes place between metal d orbital and ligand along the direction of x and y axis, and there are ligands such as dx square minus y square which are showing strong interaction, and the ligands in between x and y, that is dxy, also show slightly less interaction as compared to dx square minus y square. So in this at below the diagram shows that energy level diagram, that is 5d orbitals are in degenerate state, that is stable state. In octahedral structure, splitting takes place like T2G and EG, and in second step, that is intermediate step as shown in above diagram, in tetragonal position when elongation of z axis takes place or distance of ligands along z axis extended, then these EG orbitals splitted into dz square and dx square minus y square, and T2G splitted into dyz and yz zx and dxy. This is a tetragonal structure. And finally in square planar complex, because there is no any interaction with along z axis, so dz square is stabilized because there is no any interaction, so it is stable, and there is a strong interaction along dx square minus y square, so their energy is increased. So in the third square planar diagram, that is energy of dx square minus y square is higher, then there is a slight interaction of dxy orbital in square planar complexes, so this dxy also shows higher energy, and dz square shows lower energy, and dyz and zx, there is no interaction with incoming ligand, so they are having least energy. So this is the square planar sequence. So this is the 3d orbital splitting in square planar crystal field, that is dxz yz lower energy, dz square higher energy, dxy slightly higher energy, and dx square minus y square shows most higher energy. So this is the energy sequence in case of square planar complexes. And crystal field splitting in square planar complexes is higher as compared to octahedral, as compared to tetrahedral. So last in slide we compared that octahedral, tetrahedral and square planar crystal field splitting. In first diagram, octahedral metal surrounded by 6 ligands, and their 5d orbitals are splitted into T2G at the bottom and EG at the top level. In second tetrahedral, metal surrounded by 4 ligands which are alternate in the cube, and which is a reverse pattern as compared to octahedral. So EG at the bottom and T2G at the up level. But in last square planar complex, which we have discussed in last slide, the pattern is dx square minus y square at higher level, then dxy, dz square and dxz and yz. So this is details about the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complexes, square planar complexes. So thank you all of you, and in next video we will see details about the John-Taylor distortion. John-Taylor distortion is very important in this unit. So thank you all of you for giving the concentration to listening this video. Thank you.